everyone, welcome to Beyond 50 Skin. Today I'm going to talk to you about a discovery I made about how to get rid of hyperpigmentation. I've been battling it for years and years, and this summer it started to creep up again and I was like, no way. So I want to share with you what I did to get rid of my summer hyperpigmentation. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. We're going to be jumping right into that. So welcome to Beyond 50 Skin. If you're new, my name is Cindy, so glad to have you. If you would like to join our community, check down in the description box. You can subscribe, and please like this if you get some benefit out of today's video. I'm going to be jumping into how I got rid of my summer hyperpigmentation. So I have been pretty diligent about keeping my hyperpigmentation under control over the last few years. I've been using a hydroquinone derivative that I shared with you in my hyperpigmentation video. It has retinoic acid at 0.025%, hydroquinone 4%, kojic 3%, and a little bit of hydrocortisone to tamp down the irritation at 0.5%. It is a prescription formula, and I went to renew it because at the end of the summer, after being out and about, I noticed my traditional pattern of spots reappearing. I usually get a dollar size over here, and this sort of footprint pattern over here, probably from the light from the car. I've been really diligent about wearing hats and sunscreen, but it still seems to creep back despite my diligence. And I had not been using a dedicated hyperpigmentation formulation, so I was like, whoops, got to get back on that. So I went to reorder my prescription and realized I only had one left. So I thought, since I've moved, I need to kind of get with another dermatologist. Found out that that's going to take me an hour's drive and decided to jump online and look into all the online options. In addition, my one prescription that was left of my formula was double the price. It wasn't cheap to begin with. It's an online compounded formulation, and it wasn't, like I said, cheap to begin with. It was about $90 for 2 months. You know, $45 a month isn't bad, but a little pricey, but they doubled that. And I was like, no way. So I started looking online for an online topical prescription company. And I did a little bit of research. I've looked into 3 of them: Rory, Curology, and Muesli. I decided to go with Curology. I'd read really great reviews about it. Not sponsored, not an ad for any of these companies, but I decided to go with Curology after looking around, and I'll compare the cost kind of at the end of the video of each of these. So I went with Curology. They have fantastic customer service. I was really impressed. Took a few photos of kind of the pigmentation that had been popping up and sent them in and got a response within minutes from a physician's assistant, or she was a nurse practitioner. Anyway, so she looked at my skin analysis, or looked at my pictures and analyzed the formula that I've been using before, and she was like, you know, I want to start you on a different kind of topical anti-pigmentation formula. I was like, oh, I just really wanted to replace what I have. She explained they didn't have that exact compounded formula in their formula library, and I was like, but she suggested a different formulation. I was really hesitant, but for $5 for your first trial, I was like, let me just go for it. So the formula that she sent me is an azelaic acid 10%, ascorbic acid 5%, kojic acid 4% formulation with just a base sort of moisturizing formula. So I was like, basically a vitamin C formula and a couple topicals I can get over the counter at the ordinary. But like I said, for $4, I gave it a go. Like I said, I was really skeptical. I've used L-ascorbic acid over the years, and I honestly have paid high-end for it. I've paid medium, and I've paid sort of budget-friendly L-ascorbic acids, and I haven't noticed like a big bang for my buck. Yes, I had quite a bit of pigmentation I was dealing with over the last 4 years, and maybe just an L-ascorbic acid formula wasn't enough. But like I said, I've used it at every level, and I found it was brightening, but it wasn't busting my hyperpigmentation, which is why I went to the dermatologist to get a hydroquinone formulation, which hydroquinone, though it's a little bit controversial, there is, and I'll link an article down below and a YouTube video down below about hydroquinone if you're curious about it, but it really is the gold standard for melasma and deep pigmentation, which is why I went to my dermatologist for a more powerful formula those years ago and had great luck with it. It just made my skin just clear up beautifully. In addition to my laser treatment that I did, This was a powerful formula and I was dedicated to it, and so upset to find out that it was going to cost me basically $90 a month to use. It just was not something I was willing to do. So back to my Curology story. So for $5 a month for your first trial, you get 9 grams, and here, this is the formulation that she sent me: the azelaic, the ascorbic, and the kojic acid. All azelaic acid is a tyrosinase inhibitor. 10% is a fairly high percent. Kojic acid is typically at 4%, also a tyrosinase inhibitor. And of course, the lightening and brightening antioxidant L-ascorbic acid, the gold standard. Great antioxidant, great for cell turnover, just great lightener and brightener, also a tyrosinase inhibitor. So all three great in the formulation, but like I said, I had not great luck with L-ascorbic acid formulas in the past. And I was a little bit like, I could probably cobble this together for maybe $25 a month and not do the prescription. So I got it in the mail. Like I said, I was skeptical, and I decided to boost it with a licorice root formulation serum by Vit Skin. I had been using this a little bit before with kind of minimal results, but I thought, why not just make this a mambo combo? I used it every morning for 1 month. Licorice root is a slight antioxidant, but it also is a tyrosinase inhibitor. It's a botanical. And this particular formulation, LA Effector, is alcohol-free, fragrance-free, and essential oil-free. If you're interested, I really have been enjoying this, and it's hydrating, has a nice humectant, really kind of minimal ingredient list. And like I said, so anti-inflammatory, slight antioxidant, and depigmenting with the tyrosinase inhibitor, licorice root. And so this was the combo mambo that I used for a month. And I was like, okay, we'll see how it goes for a month. And like I said, I hadn't held out very much hope, and I was then going to be switched to a hydroquinone formula that Curology has in its formula base. It was a little bit different from the one I was using, but I thought, you know, what the hey. So roll forward 1 month later, I submit my pictures, and I'm like, okay, you know, that was that. And then I started, like I said, I researched a couple other companies, but Muesli had this particular hydrocortisone mambo combo that I had been using in the past. It was a little bit more pricey. The Muesli formulas are, I think, about $10 more a month, so it runs about $30 a month as opposed to the Curology, which is about $20. Make sure you opt out of their cleansers and moisturizers actively if you don't want to use it, or else that really bumps up your monthly price. And if you already have a set that you're enjoying, you kind of have to be a little proactive about that when you check out. So I was like, okay, I'll probably switch over to Muesli. They have more combinations that I've found helpful with the hydroquinone base, and so I was going to switch. And then I kind of went online and I canceled as it was canceling my Curology, and then I looked at the pictures again, and I really focused on them. I was like, there was no hyperpigmentation. I'm going to throw up some pictures here of before I started, well, the first pictures I sent into my Curology physician before and 1 month later. I was blown away. I hadn't really paid much attention. I was skeptical. I just kind of let my brain go there, like it's not going to work. It was phenomenal. I was blown away. And then I looked in the mirror because it had been about 2.5, 3 weeks, a little bit lazy on getting back to this. And then I took another picture and realized my hyperpigmentation had creeped back in the 2.5, 3 weeks that I had not been using it. So like I said, I was literally blown away by this formulation. Now, is it anything magical or something you probably couldn't cobble together with azelaic, ascorbic, kojic, and over the counter? Probably not, but probably not for the price. And that's why I wanted to do this video. For $20 a month, you get a formulation, at least for me, that really worked and did not break the bank. I'm so impressed with this. And I don't know if I'm going to continue on with my hydroquinone formula. If I can get this combination to work for me for a reasonable price, I'm not sure I'm going to bump back up to a hydroquinone formulation if I don't need it. But if I do, like I said, the Muesli has 4 formulations. Company Muesli has 4 formulations, 2 of which include hydroquinone. So that is something that you really need to consider because your melasma or your pigmentation is quite deep and needs a little bit more punch. I would consider checking out the Muesli formulas. But I think I'm going to be sticking with Curology. Like I said, it was amazing. And the hyperpigmentation that I got over the summer because of all that diffuse light coming in, like I said, I've been awesome about wearing my hats and my sunscreen, but we still get this diffuse UV. Oh, I'll link Michelle at Lab Muffin just did a recent awesome video about how sort of all the indirect UV hits us and we don't even know it. And also here in Colorado, I am going to be exposed to a lot more UV than I had realized. Actually, we get more days of light and brightness during our winter than we do during our summer. So this is going to be a year-round program for me. I'm going to have to be jumping into something that's going to bust that pigmentation probably year-round. So like I said, if you are curious about online companies, they are a fantastic and budget-friendly option. Like I said, I was really skeptical, and I found this to be, it blew me away. The bottom line is this really did. And could you get this combination over the counter? Maybe. It's going to cost you more. Probably, after you pay shipping and everything. So like I said, this isn't sponsored. Curology was a great company to work with, but it's not sponsored. I just was really blown away by this formula. And if you're struggling with hyperpigmentation, an online company is a great way to go if you don't have the availability to get to an in-office and get a prescription through your dermatologist. And also that often costs so much more. The online dermatological services are amazing. There's another company called Apostrophe. It was a little bit pricier. You pay a base cost for your appointment and then a monthly fee, which runs closer to about $90 for 2 months. So it's closer to $45 a month, where Curology was around $20. Muesli is closer to around $30, but they have more hydroquinone based options for you. And there's a new company called Nurex, which is a full online sort of, you can get medical assistance and sort of topical dermatological formulations, and they will help bill online. So those are just a few of the options. They're popping up all over. Another company is Rory. They are about $75 a quarter, so kind of closer to the cost of the Curology, but still, I am blown away, like I said, by this combination. And I knew all about hyperpigmentation. Check out my hyperpigmentation video about all the different topicals that you can use. But like I said, I had been skeptical in the past. And formulation is really key. And they have dialed this in. I really am impressed with the result that I got, and I just wanted to share that with you. So let me know in the comments what combination you're using to bust up your hyperpigmentation. I would love to know, are you using a combination of over-the-counter topicals, or do you use a prescription formula? Please share in the comments below. I love the discussion that goes on down there, and if you're struggling with hyperpigmentation, don't hesitate to comment and ask me questions. I'd love to help you out if I can. And thank you for watching today. Take good care, and don't forget, even in the winter, we're getting diffuse UV, so continue to use your sunscreen and do some protective behaviors. Hats if you need them, especially if you're out in bright light and sunshine in your area. Of course, not everywhere in the world gets a dark cloudy winter, especially in my area. Apparently that's not what I'm going to be getting. So take good care, everybody. It was lovely to have this chat with you about hyperpigmentation. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Wishing you living life to the fullest in your best skin, absolutely every single day. Take good care. Bye. Hey everyone, welcome to Beyond.